Yeah. Okay, well, we better get started. So we'll come into child's pose today. So just if you want to extend your arms over your head, you can do that. Or if you want to rest them along the sides of your body, just pick which one feels good for you today. And then just start to pay attention to your breath, moving in and out through your nose. And then start to notice any areas of tension or tightness that you might feel in your body. And just let it go with every exhale. And keeping that concentration on your breath, start to notice if your inhales are equal to your exhales. And maybe keeping your eyes closed. If you want to start rolling your forehead along the ground, just right and left, just slow movements, waking up the muscles of the neck. And then bringing that forehead back to center. Let's take our right arm and wrap it around your back. It doesn't have to go all around your waist, but just put it behind your back. And extending that left arm so that it's very long. Walk those fingertips of the left hand out in front of you. Maybe turn your head to the right. Just try to open up that right shoulder a little bit. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale to release that right hand down to the mat. And then let's get that on the other side. So taking your left arm behind your back, wrapping it around if you can, but if you can't, that's okay too. Walking those right fingertips out as long as you can lengthen that right arm. And then taking your head and setting it so your face is on the right side of your mat, facing the left. Try to roll that left shoulder up toward the sky a little bit more. One more inhale here. And exhale, releasing that left arm out in front of you so both hands are extended out in front now. From here, let's come up to tabletop. So bringing those hands under your shoulders and getting those knees under your hips. And then from here, let's just start to take our hips to the right and the left. Just swaying side to side. And then start to take your head and then sway it as well. So you're trying to meet your head to the opposite, or to the hip, same side. So if you go to the left, trying to take that head to the left hip. Obviously, it's not going to reach the left hip, but just get that C shape going in your body. We're just trying to move our spine in all the ways that we can today. And then slowly start to slow the movements down so you come back to tabletop. And then once you get here, let's sit back and tuck those toes and sit back onto your toes. Just come up with a nice tall spine. From here, we're going to go into bellows breath. So I'll face you so you can see me. So bellows breath, also called Vastrika, is great for awakening us. So since it's the morning, this will be something good to do. So let's take our hands above us, and we're going to have a sharp inhale and sharp exhale. So we'll inhale with the hands up, and we exhale, pull it down. So sharp movements up and down. And at your own pace, just go up and down. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just take a big inhale, reach everything up, and hold it as long as you can. And then when you're ready, exhale, let everything fall down to the ground. And then from here, let's release the tuck of our toes. And let's start to bring our fingertips behind us. We can go fingertips facing back for this. And then start to lift those knees off the ground, coming into just to your degree of comfort as well. Just poofing that chest up, rolling those shoulders back, and then feeling a nice stretch in the toes. You don't have to lean very far back, just until you feel that tightness in the tops of your feet, which if you're a runner, then you might feel it just by leaning back. Making sure that that neck is in good alignment as well, so we're not craning our neck back and straining in the neck. One more inhale here. Exhale, let those knees fall to the ground. And let's come back into tabletop, so hands to the ground. And this time, let's tuck our toes again. And we're going to go into some cat and cows with our toes tucked. And maybe we'll throw in some downward facing dogs. So inhale here, and let's look up and drop our belly. Come into cow, chin up. Exhale for cat, spine to the ceiling. Let everything go there. And then from here, keeping tucked, let's come up to a downward facing dog. So knees come off the mat. Maybe your heels touch the ground, maybe they don't. Maybe your knees are bent. Pushing the ground away with those hands. And just take a moment here to feel any areas, just feel this pose. Feel any areas of tightness. Feel any sensations in your body in this initial downward facing dog. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, let the knees come back down to the ground. Keeping the toes tucked, let's go right into that cow. Let's inhale to look up. Exhale for cat. And then pulling yourself back to downward facing dog. We'll flow through that a few more times. So letting the knees drop. And then inhaling, arching your back. exhaling for cat, and then coming up to downward facing dog. So for a few more times, dropping those knees down, belly toward the ground, arching the spine, inhale, exhale, everything up to the sky, toes tucked, coming up to downward facing dog one more time, dropping the knees, inhaling, finding your cow, exhale for cat, and then coming up to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And then let's just walk our feet to the front of the mat. And then once we get here, let's separate those feet so they're about hip width apart. And let's bend the right knee and grab the left ankle with our right hand. And then twisting our left arm up to the sky. Taking one more inhale here. And then releasing that left hand down. This time bending our left knee. Grabbing the right ankle with your left hand. And then right hand goes up to the sky, twisting to the right. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale, release that hand down to the ground. And then from here, let's take our hands and slide them under, either slide them under your feet and then step on your hands, or feel free to grab your big toes. And then come halfway up on the inhale, finding some extension. And then exhale, pulling yourself down, either in gorilla with your hands under your feet or just grabbing your toes. Make sure that neck is nice and loose. Maybe give your head a little shake side to side. Just try to let that head fall to the ground. And then let's take an inhale to come halfway up, so hands on your shins or the floor. Exhale, fall down. Let's move through that 2 more times. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, falling, head to the ground. Inhale 1 more time, finding a lot of extension in that back. Exhale, falling forward. This time, we're going to inhale and come all the way to standing. Arms will sweep high to the sky. And then hands come to heart. Let's inhale, sweeping our arms up to the sky again. This time grabbing your left wrist with your right hand, pulling up out of that left arm and then going to the right. So extending all along the left side of your body. Making sure that those shoulders are rolling open toward the ceiling and not falling toward the floor. One more inhale here. And then exhale, bringing that up. Let's switch. So let's grab the right wrist, pulling it up toward the sky. And then exhaling to the left. One more inhale here. And then exhale to come back up. Let's release our hands down by our side. Let's come to sit in a chair. So sitting your booty back, bringing those feet in. Sitting your bottom back. Toes will be light so that you should be able to wiggle them, so the weight's in your heels. And then if you feel any discomfort in your back, tuck that pelvis down and in. We're just going to move some breath of joy. So to do that, we're going to inhale here and exhale. Let your chest fall to your knees and let it go. So inhaling, coming up, Exhale, falling forward. So just do it in your own time. Inhaling, exhaling. Let's just go for 3 more. 2. And 1 more big one. Let it go. This time, coming all the way up, inhaling. And then exhale, let those hands fall by your side. Let's take an inhale, circling our hands above. And exhale, falling forward, coming to a forward fold. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, head to the ground, falling forward. Inhale to circle your arms all the way up to the sky. And then hands through center. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, falling forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to let it fall. Inhale to come all the way up. And we'll just flow through that one more time. Inhale, hands reach high to the sky. Maybe a back bend if you want. Exhale to fall forward. Inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, head down. Inhale to come all the way up. And hands to your heart. And just pause right here. The beauty of our yoga class is it's an hour, so we can take these small breaks to bring our mind back to the present. So if it feels good, just close those eyes and then reconnect with your breath. And let's slowly blink those eyes open if they're closed. Inhale, sweeping your hands up to the sky. Exhale, fall forward. Let's come up halfway for an inhale. Exhale your hands down by your side. And let's take our right foot back to the back of your mat. Left knee will be bent at 90 degrees. And from here, let's let our right knee fall to the ground, releasing the top of your right foot. And let's come up into a low lunge. Arms will sweep high above you. And just pause here. Releasing any tightness you feel in the front of your right leg. And if you want more, you can always start to bend your back and look up to the sky. Taking one more inhale here. And exhale those hands down to the ground. Your right hand is going to come flat alongside your left. And then we're just going to inhale our left arm up to the sky. Taking one more inhale and finding some openness here. Exhale, releasing that hand down alongside your other hand. And this time, let's walk our left foot over to the outer edge of your mat. And if you need to scoot your right knee back just a little bit, you can do that too. If you have a block, you can always come down onto your block, or you can just stay here if this is enough and your hips are yelling at you here. But if you want to, you can come down in between and you can just rest those arms on the ground. This is a posture we take a lot in yin yoga, and it's called dragon pose. And we won't be holding it for as long as we do usually in yoga class, in yin yoga, but a minute and a half is enough to kind of ignite that releasing of the muscles and the tissues. And if you feel like you would like to, you can always roll onto the outer edge of that left foot to open up that hip a little bit more. Let's take one more inhale here. And on the exhale, if you're rolled on that left foot, start to bring it back in. And then bring those fingers to the ground. Start to push yourself up. And then let's scooch that foot back in toward midline, the left foot. And then we'll pull back and make that left leg nice and long to come into half splits. And turning this into a flow, we're going to bring our hands alongside our body. We're going to inhale, make that left foot flat. Chest will come up and then head will look up. And then we're going to exhale to pull it all back down. Lengthen that left leg again. So on the inhale, bend the left knee. Inhale and look up. And then exhale, let that fold in. Inhaling to come up. Exhale, folding it down. Inhaling to look up. Exhale, folding it in one more time. Let's go through one more round. Inhale, rolling those shoulders back. Exhale, letting it all go. Now let's come back into that low lunge. And then let's pull that right knee off the ground. So we're in a lunge, and then let's just bring our right foot to the top of the mat alongside your left. Let's inhale to come halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms will reach high to the sky, coming all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweeping our arms to the sky. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale for that flat back. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to take our left foot behind us, finding that lunge on the other side, and then releasing the left knee to the ground. The top of the left foot goes flat. And then we're going to come up. Arms will reach high to the sky. And then inhale, if you want to come and bend back, you can do that too and stay here and hold for a few minutes. Not minutes, maybe seconds. One more inhale here. Exhale, release those hands down to the ground. This time we're going to walk our right foot over to the outer edge of our mat. Releasing that left knee back just a little bit. And then before we come into that, let's go ahead and twist to the right so our right arm can come up to the sky. Inhale one more time and find some openness there. Exhale to release those hands down in between your legs. And then if you want to come down onto the ground with your forearms, feel free to do that, or grab a block. Or remember, you can always stay here on your hands. We'll just hold here for about 90 seconds. And if you want to start rolling onto that edge of your right foot, you can open your hip and push that out. Let's inhale here one more time. And on the exhale, start to release that right foot if it's tilted. Bring those hands up. And then start to move that right foot in toward the midline, coming back into that low lunge. And then let's pull back, making that right leg nice and long. Toes can point up to the ceiling. Remembering that breath to make it nice and steady. Let's turn this into a flow. So on the inhale, right foot will go flat, chest will come up. Inhaling, and then exhaling, lengthening that right leg again, and then melting your torso down. Inhale, coming up, chest opening. Exhale to fold it in. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, folding it forward. Let's go through two more. Inhale up. Exhale, folding it in. And one more cycle. Inhale. And exhale. And from here, let's take our hands to the ground. Push that left knee off the ground. And then step back into plank. And then just hold here for a second. Your feet are hip width apart. Just find the strength in your arms to hold you up. Everything from your toes to your head, nice strong core. And then start to lean your body forward over your hands, elbows in, shaving your ribs, coming down to the ground. Hands by your chest, elbows squeezing back and in. Inhale to come into cobra. Exhale it down. Let's flow through that a few more times. Inhale to come up, shoulders roll open. Exhale down. Inhale, rolling it up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale to come up and let's hold. Squeezing those elbows in and rolling those shoulders back. One more inhale here. Exhaling it down. This time, let's push ourselves up through plank pose. So pushing yourself up and then back to downward facing dog. Taking a breath here, inhale. Exhale, let's step our right foot to the top by our right hand. And then your left foot's gonna go by your left hand. And once we get here, we're gonna sit down into Malasana. So toes pointing at 45-degree angles. And then sitting down into that yoga squat, feeling free if you need a block underneath of you, putting that under your seat. Elbows can help those knees open out, spine nice and tall. And I know we're challenging those hips today, but if you feel like you want to join me in something that's a little bit crazy, then we can try to come up onto our toes. So if you want to, we can just get a nice toe stretch while we stretch our hips.
And if not, that's okay too. You can always come down, but maybe you just give it a try. Hopefully we're still friends after class. Let's inhale. We'll take an inhale here, and then let's just release those toes down to the ground. And then maybe give those hips a little sway side to side and get some fluidity into that hip socket. I'll call this an unintentional hip class because it wasn't really intended, but it's happening, so let's go with it. Okay, hands down to the ground. Let's release those feet and start to walk them back in. And then once we get here, let's inhale to come up and out so that we're halfway up. Exhale, head to the ground, folding forward. And then this time, let's step our right foot back, left foot back, coming into plank. And then let's drop ourselves down to the mat. Once we get here, we'll come up into Sphinx pose. So your forearms will be on the ground, elbows under your shoulders, nice tall spine. And then bring your right leg up and out to the side. You might need to scooch over onto your mat to the left. So you're at a 45-degree angle with your right leg, and then you're in Sphinx pose. So it's like a frog, it's like a Sphinx frog pose. And then deepen your inhale here. And exhale, let it go. And as you let it go, release that right leg back. And then let's come back to center. Let's place our hands by our chest. And let's just start to do some cobra circles. So just rotating those shoulders up and back and down, kind of like in a figure 8. This is a little wrist workout. And then once you're done going one way, let's switch it and go the opposite direction. So we're just bringing some movement into some poses that we usually are just holding and stagnant in. Make one more revolution around, and then we're going to come back to center, bringing those forearms back down to the ground. Maybe shaking out those wrists for a second if they need a little reprieve. And then scooching to the right side of your mat, we're going to bring that left leg up this time. So the top of the body is in Sphinx. The bottom's going to go into frog. So bending that left knee so it's 90 degrees. And then pulling up and out of that chest. And take another breath to deepen your inhale here before you transition. Exhale, let's slowly release that left leg back. Let's come up to tabletop. And then from here, let's extend our right leg back behind you and make it flat on the ground. And your left knee will stay where it is, bent at 90 degrees. And then inhale your right arm up to the right side of the space. And then inhale to kind of open that shoulder up, and exhale, extend that right arm long in front of you, straight out over your head. And if you feel like you want more of a challenge today, you can always flex the right foot and then bring it up as well. But if that's not your jam, you can always bring that right foot down and just remain where we were. Taking one more inhale here. And then exhale, releasing the foot to the ground. If it's up, the right hand will come down to the ground. And then coming back to that tabletop position. And this time, let's inhale and exhale. Release that left leg behind you, making it flat behind your right knee or right leg. Right arm is directly under your shoulder. And then you're going to inhale, sweeping that left hand to the sky. A modified side plank on the other side. Now inhale and kind of open your shoulder, rolling it open. And exhale, extending that left arm long over your head. Making sure you're not collapsing in that right shoulder. And then if you want to bring that left foot off the ground, flexing the left foot and bringing it up. Or just staying there. Just making sure you're one long line of extension from your left fingertips to your toes. One more big inhale here. Exhale, release those hands down to the ground. Knees will come back to tabletop. And now bringing those hands out in front of you a little bit more than they would for a tabletop. Let's just start to make big hip circles down and around. And then sitting back. Just choosing which direction you want to go. And then when you're ready, start to rotate it the opposite direction. Matching your movement with your breath. Maybe you inhale when you come forward and you exhale when you go back. And taking one more circle around. Let's come back to tabletop. So hands directly under your shoulders. And from here, let's bring our fingertips to the outer edge of your mat so they're facing outward. And let's just stretch those wrists. So swaying left and right. And then coming back to center, let's point our fingertips behind you so they're facing your knees now. Instead of going left to right, let's go forward and backward. Just taking it to whatever degree feels spot on for your wrists. Just gentle movements. Then when you come back to center, let's take those fingertips facing forward once more. And then let's just come to sit down. So crawl your knees up and have a seat. Once we get here, let's extend our right leg nice and long, and let's take our left hip and open it out at a 90-degree angle. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to actually inhale here and exhale to come in between those legs at a 45-degree angle. So come down as far as it feels good for you. Maybe bringing that intention back to your breath if your mind is wandering. And then taking a deep inhale here, let's exhale and push ourselves up to a nice tall spine again. This time facing forward so that we're facing our right leg. Let's inhale our arms up and then exhale to fall over the right leg as far as you want. And on an inhale, let's inhale and come up so that we're lengthening our spine. And then let's bring our right elbow inside of our right leg, just setting it down there, and then placing your head into your right hand. Let's inhale the left arm up to the sky, and then exhaling it over. It doesn't have to touch the toes, but that is an option. And if it does, then you can always grab the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, and you can grab the inner part of your right foot with your right hand and barrel those ribs so that they're open and toward the ceiling. So no matter which one you're choosing, just make sure you're opening that rib cage to the ceiling. One more inhale here. And then exhale, slowly releasing to come up out of that. And coming up to a nice tall spine. Let's bring that left knee still bent in toward the midline. And from here, fingertips facing in and behind us. We're going to inhale to pulse and flatten that right foot on the ground. Head comes back. Exhale, releasing it down. Let's flow through that 3 times. Inhale, coming up, pushing your pelvis toward the sky. Exhale, releasing it down to the ground. Inhaling up. Exhale to release. One more time. Inhale, pushing up toward the ceiling. Exhale, releasing to the ground. From here, we'll leave our arms back here, and we're going to start to come back to your degree, your preference, coming either down on your elbows, or you can always stay up. If this is enough for your knees, stay up as well. We'll just be here for about 90 seconds. That's the magic number today. And if you can come all the way down to the ground, you can do that too. Let's take one more inhale here. And then slowly start to make your way up out of that position. No one told us that the hardest poses in yoga are the ones we have to hold the longest. Who knew? And then from here, let's just release that leg out in front of you. And let's just give them a little wiggle. That was a little workout for our left knee. We're trying to repair those knee injuries. And then from here, let's have a nice tall spine. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Then exhale, just folding over your legs.
Releasing any tension in your back. And the longer we hold, the deeper you can go, because your breath just magically allows those back muscles to release more and more. Take one more inhale and deepen your inhale. And then exhale to make your way up to seated. And then from here, we're going to bend our right knee this time. So you might need to scooch to the left side of your yoga mat. And then open that right leg open and out. Rebending that right knee. Left leg is nice and long. With a nice tall spine, inhale here. And then let's exhale to come in between those legs at a diagonal. Let's take one last inhale here. And on the exhale, walking those hands in and coming back up to sitting. And then from here, let's face our left leg. Inhale those arms up to the sky. And then exhale to fall over the left leg. You don't have to always touch your toes. You can just come down with your leg, your hands beside your leg. Just finding whatever feels good. And oftentimes where you end up in these poses will be a lot deeper than where you started. And in these slower practices, it's always most challenging to just rein that mind in so that your mind is in the present moment and not thinking about the past or the future or what you're going to do today, but thinking about what you're doing here on your mat. So if you find your mind wandering, just gently direct it back to this present moment. Let's take one more inhale here. On the exhale, slowly making your way back up to that nice tall spine. And this time we take our left elbow down inside of our left leg, resting that head on to the left hand. And then inhaling, right hand up to the sky. And exhaling, the right hand over your head. Feeling free to grab your toes. And if you want to go into that wrap with your hands, you can always release your head. And then grab the outer edges of your left foot and curl the ribs open to the sky. Remembering that we're not here to compare ourselves to what other people are doing, but instead we're here for our own practice. So what I'm doing may look very different than what you're doing, and that's okay. One last inhale here. And then exhale, releasing those hands and then coming all the way up. I feel like I could stay there all day, but I don't think we should. So I'll bring your right knee to join your left. And then fingertips facing in again. We're going to go through that same thing on the left side where we inhale and lift our bottom off the ground. And then exhale to release it down. So inhale, trying to make that left foot flat on the ground, just pushing your pelvis up toward the ceiling, and then exhale, releasing it down. We'll flow through that 3 more times. Inhale back, and exhale, let it fall down. Inhale, and exhale. Let's do one more time. Inhaling, arching the spine, opening the shoulders, exhaling, release. And then from here, keeping those knees in toward one another, let's take our arms behind us and let's get that knee stretch on the other side. So coming down, it might be different on different sides because our bodies are often different. So coming down to whatever feels good for this side, whether that be still sitting up or on your elbows or laying all the way down, just picking which one feels good for you. We won't be here too long.
Taking one last inhale here. Let's slowly make our way up to that nice tall spine. Let's release that right leg out and in front of you. Maybe this time we bend our knees and then just do some windshield wipers right and left. Or just wiggle and jiggle, whatever feels good for your knees. And then from here, let's come onto our elbows. Knees will come in. I gotta get one more, I gotta work the abs just one time. So from here, it's easy. We're just gonna go for a bike ride. It's a leisurely Saturday bike stroll. I'm notorious for throwing in these ridiculous things right before Shavasana, apparently. It's a sickness we have. And and then if you don't want to do it at all, always feel free to skip it. You know, maybe say a few cuss words and then just be on your way. Just don't leave your mat yet. We're almost done. And then let's reverse that. So go the opposite way. Because we need to go back now. We still got to get to Shavasana. Your breath might be increasing, and that's okay. It's a good thing. I'll tell you where all my cookies land up are right on my waistline. It's not appreciated. Let's just go for 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So sorry, knees in. But now let everything fall down to the ground. Just plop it down there. Let's just go into TP pose, so knees knocking together. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And just wait till that breath subsides. Just feel the increased heart rate. Be thankful for your nice clear breath. The breath is so often underestimated, but it's so powerful. It's the first thing that we do when we're born into this world, and it's the last thing we do when we exit this world. So let's bring those knees in toward your chest. Maybe give it a little rock or a little roll, whatever feels good. And then let's leave our right knee in and extend our left leg long. And then take our left hand and twist the right knee to the left, opening the right arm out to the side. One last twist of the class. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale, releasing that, bringing both knees back in toward the midline. And this time we extend our right leg long and squeeze that left knee in. And then opening your left arm to the left side of the space, taking your left knee over to the right with your right hand. Your gaze can be up or over to the left or even to the right if you want something a little less challenging on your neck. Taking one last inhale here. Exhale to bring those knees in towards midline. And then give everything a big squeeze in. So hugging
everything and squeezing everything tight, even your eyes. Squeeze everything really, really tight. Inhale here. And exhale, let everything fall to the ground for Shavasana. So feet will open the outside of your yoga mat. Feet will open as well and fall out to the side. Palms facing forward, palms facing the ceiling. Or if you feel like you need some grounding today, you can always place those palms down onto the ground. And then let's just take the last few minutes of class to regulate our breath and to see how weightless we can become to kind of seal and close this class today. So as you're ready, start to bring that intention back to the feeling of your weight being supported by the ground. And if you want to reach your hands above your head and just give everything one long, big stretch, and inhale there, and just exhale, let it go. And then we'll just end class just like this today. So you feel free to come out of this at your own pace. So thank you for your practice today. I hope you have a great rest of your day.